Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the mill yard. What we're gonna do is we're gonna repair the chain that I snapped yesterday on the saw. Do that on video in real time. We're gonna put it on the saw. We're gonna throw an edge on it, cut with it. Now, repairing the chain doesn't take very long, but the whole process is probably going to run into a pretty long video. So if you don't want to hang on, really give a shit about that stuff, then you can just sign off. I don't really care. I'm going to show you, I'll get you a close-up. How you doing? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Say hi to Danny. Danny's hanging out with me out back. Waiting for a customer. If the customers show up, they got to pick up all this elm that we cut for them yesterday. If they show up, I'll put you guys on pause. My job today is to clean up the mill yard. I got to get all this stuff out of here. I'll spread the sawdust, get the slab cuts put away, get the door back on. The Bobcat, we get rain coming, put the cover back on. The mill, so on and so forth. But anyway, I'm going to try to get you guys a good view here, and I'll try to keep you guys good views. Now, I've done other videos on this. You can, if you want to sign off now and just avoid the torture of it all, this is the chain that I broke on the 372 yesterday. If you didn't watch the video, then I'll explain it. So I hit the Bobcat carriage over there, trying to trim a log, snap the chain. It's basically a brand new chain. It hit this tooth right here. It grabbed and snapped the chain. It really only hit two teeth. So it really only hit this tooth, hit this tooth a little bit, and this tooth where the chain stopped. What we're going to do is we're going to grind off this rivet right here. Take this cutter out. This cutter's damaged to not to the point where I couldn't grab another cutter and replace it, but we don't need to. So we're just going to repair this chain, we're just going to take this cutter out, put a tie strap in here, connect this drive link, which is not damaged, back to this right here, and one of the like that. And so we'll just put a tie strap in there, essentially becoming a little bit of a skip tooth in that one section. And then we'll file this back. We'll put it on the saw. We'll file this tooth back to operable. It's pretty damaged, pretty far back. And then we'll make a cut with it. So I will try to pause you whenever I can. What you are going to need is something to peen it over. So we're going to use a ball peen hammer to peen over the rivets on the new tie strap. You're going to need tie straps. I'm going to pull those out of here. I got a pack in here somewhere. Something to peen them over on, which I just have a metal plate right here, but really you can use almost anything hard. And we'll go from there. One thing I can tell you, and that's been in some of my other videos, is that something on the outfeed side to kind of hold this chain kind of flat when you're peening it. So another, like a wooden block about this thickness, and let's just go over here. I'll find one really quick, just to show you that this is not complicated. So here's a block from under the mill. If you are worried about the cinematography over the content of this, then I feel sorry for you as a human. So that lays nice and flat. That's going to be perfect for what I'm doing. First thing we're going to do is grind off this rivet right here. I'll back you up a little bit while I'll get you in close when I do it, but I'll show you what I'm using. Now you can use an old corded grinder or whatever you want. I just happen to have a pretty kick-ass battery one, so I'm going to do it with that since I'm out in the field. See if I stay out of the way of the camera. I've found that cutoff wheels, I'm just going to grab whatever I have sitting in here, but I think cutoff wheels work a little better for control, so I'll just grab this piece of a cutoff wheel here when you're doing this. You can use a grinding disc if you want, that's fine, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep that out of the way for a second. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grind this rivet off, see if I can get you a good view. I like doing it with the cutoff wheels because they tend to grind the rivets a little faster. After we grind this off, and this link is bent, we're going to punch it out. Let's see if I want to grind it from this side. Hopefully that, yeah, this tie strap's bent, so that's going to be good. It doesn't look like the other one is. So if you look at what I'm talking about, let me see, get this on video. This tie strap right here does look bent to me, which is good because that's getting replaced. So doesn't really matter which way you do this from. I think I'll just punch it out from this side. You don't need blocks to grind this on, so let's take the blocks out of play here. Make sure you got the good view. I'm just going to grind this rivet off. You can hold it with a pair of pliers if you want, but it's not really a big deal. It's going to get loud for a second. Just going to grind off this rivet head. All right, so we got the rivet head ground. Now, I didn't bring a punch out with me because I'm just thinking of what you might have in the field. And you just kind of want to grind it down until you can see the outline in the metal of the rivet. And you know what I'll do is I'm going to punch it out with a chainsaw file, since just in case you don't have a punch and you want to complain about, oh, you have all these cool tools. So we can punch it out with this. What you want to find, if you want to make this easy, you can drill a hole in a bench or whatever and punch it out in the hole. I'm going to just use any type of flaw in this bench. So we'll use that little crack right there to punch it out. But you could drill a hole. I used to do it that way. Kind of supports the chain that way, but I'm just going to use this little flaw. I'm going to get this right on that outline of that rivet. Right in the middle. Hit it a couple times, should punch right out. Yep, there you go. All right, now the chain's broken, okay? And this, we are going to replace this really damaged cutter that grabbed the Bobcat carriage. Okay, so chain's broken. I'm gonna go in my bag and grab a tie strap. So I make my own chains, milling chains, whatever. I have to go through here and find my tie straps. Not really sure which bag they're in, but they're in one of them. think they might be right there. Let's take a look. Now the only thing important about the tie straps is that they match the pitch of the chain, so they need to be, in this case, 3/8 tie straps. That's the pitch of this chain. For those of you that don't know, that's the distance between the rivets here. The center of the distance between the center of these rivets is 3/8 of an inch. What they say is that it's you take 3 of them and take the average, but it's basically just the distance between the center of these 2 rivets. It's 3/8 of an inch. That's 3/8 chain. Let's see here. Yeah, you can still see this. I'm gonna get you down a little bit, I think. Get you in close. So if I get you, make sure you have a good view. So we're gonna pull out a good new tie strap. You need 2 sides. One of them's going to have rivets on it. Unpeened rivets. Let's see what we got in here. I also do have cutters, and I do have drive links and stuff in here that I've cut off of other chains. The thing about the drive links, though, is that they would have to be the same width as these. Now, these are 058, and most of my rip chains are 063, so those would not work. So here's what a drive link looks like. I mean, tie strap looks like. It's got peened over rivets on one side and raw rivets on the other. This will work fine. This just happens to be an Archer tie strap. That'll work fine in this application. It doesn't really matter as long as it's 3/8. Get the rest of these put away. And this is what you get when you order loops of chain that you're going to, rolls of chain that you're going to make chains out of in custom lengths. These kind of packaged up and put away so that they're there for next time. Oh, it takes so long. All right, so now what we're going to do, make sure you get, I'll keep you in that same view. We have our tie strap, we have our chain. We're going to get our little support block here just to keep the chain flat, because what's going to happen is that the chain's going to try to tilt when you do this, and it's going to be hard to hold on to. So probably always better if you keep it lined up like this, which is the direction that the drive links go in, just so you don't do it backwards. I like to orient my tie strap in the same orientation as the chain. So if you see this tie strap right here, it's got the little hole on the bottom. And if you see this tie strap, it's got the hole on the bottom. So we're going to orient it in the same way. You put the good rivets down so that your new rivets are facing through the top. We're going to make sure that this fits through this hole. This tie strap might not work. Oh, yeah, it fits through that hole. Yeah, it fits through that hole. Does it fit through this hole? Oh, this might wreck the video. This drive link might be damaged. Let me see. It's not bent. I think it's got a little burr on it. I'm going to see if I can fix it to not screw this video. So I think this rivet hole right here has a little burr in it. I'm going to see if I can file it out real quick. I don't know. See if I can get you a close-up to show you it. Get my chain kind of oriented here. I don't know if you can see how There looks like there's a, oh, I can't file through here with this. See. If I can tap it through. So the hole's oblonged where it broke. Kind of needs a new drive link. Or not, it doesn't need a new drive link. It needs to be wallered out. All right, what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna pause this video and go grab a smaller file to go through that hole. Well, before I do that, let me pull another drive link and see if a different one fits through that hole. I mean, a tie strap. I'm gonna use some terms here and apologize for that now. Let's see if I have a different tie strap that maybe is a hair smaller. I think these are some, I have Carlton ones too. I think these are Carlton. Let's see if that fits through there. Just for some odd reason. Oh, yeah, that fits better. See if it fits both sides. Yep. All right, this one will work. So for some reason, the Archer one is just a little teeny bit bigger. So we'll use this one instead. Take the Archer one out of play here. This one fits. Typically, they're the same size. I don't know exactly why that Archer one doesn't fit through, but we'll just go with this Carlton one. Get ourselves situated like that. Get this thing pushed through. We're going to get our little tie strap with our little divot facing the same direction as everything else down on top of it. All right, so now we've got our link in there and we're going to peen it over. Now, there's a couple different ways. You can get yourself a little screwdriver or whatever. Sometimes my fingers get in the way when I try to hold it down like this right here. I'm going to try to get you a very, very close-up view of what I'm doing. Wonder if I can zoom in. Yeah, that's really good. If I get in the way, I apologize, but sometimes to get this held in place, what I like to do is peen over one side first. Sometimes it helps to have like a real small screwdriver. I'll just use this file. And what we're going to do is we're going to start peening on this, on one of the two of them. It doesn't really matter. Until it's big enough on the outside. It's mushrooming this out so it will look like that. It's mushrooming it out. We're going to do that until it's holding the tie strap in place. You do it with the peen end of the hammer. I'm just holding this down with the file. Normally you could hold it with your fingers, but my fingers get in the way. I don't know if you can see that mushrooming out, but you're going to keep going till that tie strap is kind of like held down. Once it's held down, and you don't have to worry about holding it with this file, you can really go to town. Kind of want to peen around. This really isn't very hard. Every time that this chain jumps off, it's just because I'm not holding it well. So once you get to this point where the tie strap can't come off, now we can just kind of hold on to the chain with our fingers. I'm going to peen the other one down a little bit. And I'll work on this one a little bit more. You can see how that's starting to look like the one that's next to it. And this one's still a little small, so we'll still go a little more on this one. You kind of want to play with it too. Just make sure you're not binding it up. Make sure that it still hinges freely. They will wear in. This is pretty much done right now. I'll give you a side view of it. You can see how it's pinned down against the tie strap. It moves fairly freely, but like I said, as this runs around, this will wear in. You'd rather have it a little tight than a loose. This one's a little bit loose. I think I'll peen that one just a little more. And this is why it helps to have it up on this block so you can keep it on the same level like that. Because if this chain was falling off, oops, sorry. This chain was falling off here onto the bench, it's hard to hold on to, so that's why I like to have that block there. Let's get you back over here. We're going to peen that other one over just a little bit. It's moving just a little bit too freely on this side. It's pretty good right there. So you can see what we got now. You can go further on this, but it really doesn't matter. I've never had one break. I'm going to zoom back out. We're going to go put this on the saw. If you want to, I don't know how zoomed out that is. Is that all the way out? No, time -5. Back you up just a second. Just going to put my gloves back on. We're going to go put this on the saw. If you want to fast forward because you don't want to watch me put it on the saw or anything like that, or sharpen, then you can do that and just fast forward to cutting part. We'll go throw this on the saw. Jesus Christ. Bring my file and my scrunch. There's Danny. Hi, Danny. This is the first chain change on the saw. This 3/4 wrap does get in the way of the scrunch, so you do need a shorty stubby for this saw now. Just the one drawback to putting a 3/4 wrap on one of these. A regular scrunch won't fit in here. Also, it looks like on the 3/4 wrap that slightly in the way of the adjuster. Looks like you can still adjust it though. We're going to back that off just a little bit. Get some of the crap off this bar. Oil hole's kind of clear. Some of this shit out of here. Get my knife. Just making sure that that oil hole is clear when I do this. Yep. So you can see that I got the, hopefully it shows up, that I got the file all the way through that hole. Throw this chain back on. We haven't changed the size of this chain. Hopefully there's no drive links messed up that would cause it to bind in the chain, because that does happen sometimes when you throw a chain. But we'll check that in a second. There's a chance that, okay, there we go. Feels good. Feels like it's going right on, so that's a good sign. It's not bent and more damage than we can repair. What am I hitting on? Danny, you stay close, bud. Danny's not a good off the leash dog. He likes to chase squirrels. All right, tighten this thing up. We'll give it a couple of zings through the bar here. Make sure that it, come on. Stuck behind the bar, right? Feels good. It feels like none of the drive links got messed up. Get you on this side real quick. Go ahead and just zing it through a few times. Make sure that it's not binding real bad. Throw my gloves on. Any little burrs that got on those drive links from when it kicked off will wear off pretty quick. Go ahead and tighten this thing up. Here. Hi, Denny. Just kind of hold up on this, tighten her down. Then we're going to put a file job on this thing, and we'll go ahead and run it in some wood just to show you that it works. If you hold up on the tip like this when you tighten them down, keep that slack out of the chain. There's a little debate on this. It's just how I've always done it. I've always been told to have the bar tip up. The other way you can do it is when you tighten, just let it fall down like this, and then when you tighten, you know, it keeps it, it pushes against the tip of the bar. Danny. All right, so we're tight. We've got good movement on the chain. Get my knife put away. We'll sharpen this thing up. Get you back over here. Danny, stay over here. I always like to sharpen in a vise if I can. In this case, I can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the new link. We'll find it here. Find the damaged tooth, and that will lead us to the new link. All right, so here's our damaged tooth. There's a damaged tooth, and here's our new link. I'm going to give you a, I'll give you a close-up of that. So there's our new link right here. And here is a damaged tooth right here a little bit. Here's a really damaged tooth. I'm going to start with this tooth right here. Actually, I'm going to start right here and do this side first. I'll start after this link, so I'll start here. And we'll run around the whole chain, and this one's the one that we're going to do last. And that one's going to come way down. I don't have a raker set up with me right now. So this tooth, after I sharpen it, is actually going to end up being a you won't see me do the raker on this tooth. The other teeth don't need the rakers done right now. Hopefully this saw file is sharp enough to do this. We're just going to whip through the whole chain. This is like a brand new chain. All right, this tooth's got some damage to it, so I'm gonna have to go to town on it a little bit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rock out the gullet, and then I'm gonna really go to town on the top. I need to get this. It's hitting on something. This tooth will need the raker adjusted tooth. I'm taking it over to factory setting. Get them over just a little bit more. So that tooth right there was the one that was damaged. I just took all the damage out of it. We're going to go back around the rest of the chain. I'll show you the chain after. Make sure you get a good view. Yep. On an 84 drive link chain like this goes pretty quick. I try to stay at factory angle. I'm not really changing the length of any of these teeth right now, just cleaning up the edge. If I see anything that looks like any type of damage, I'm just fixing it. Just grinding right across the factory angle, hitting the top of the cutting edge. There's no need to count your strokes, especially if you use a progressive raker gauge. There's no need to count your strokes ever. Chains will always cut better after I file them than before, even if they're brand new. Especially with a file that's got a little bit of time on it like this, it really kind of polishes up the cutting surface better than a machine. This one's got a little bit of damage to it, so I'm just gonna rock it out a little bit just to get it out of my way so I can file it. Perfect. And the only one that I'm really going to have to go at is that one that's damaged. Yeah, it looks good. Almost done with this side. A little bit of damage on the edge of this one. And I'm through the whole side here. Where did I start? Oh, there it is right there. Went so fast I went through the whole chain. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this one looks good. This is right where it hit. All right, we're gonna do the other side. I like to go at it from the front here, kind of in this orientation. I'm going to show you this tooth that's damaged, and then I'll show you when it's done. This is the one with the corner knocked off it right here. Where it comes into focus anyway. Come on. So I'm going to file that one first, and the rest of it's going to be easy. Get you guys right here. So you can see the motion of what I'm doing. On a damaged tooth, what's going to happen is, as you file across where you have the side cutter right here, you're going to have to file the side cutter and the tooth and everything. And to move back that, I don't know, it's less than a 16th, but it's more than a 32nd. To move back that much, you have to keep filing the whole thing. So what I like to do is come in and wipe out, let's get the gullet out of the way like that. So I've moved the gullet in just a few strokes way back. Now I can concentrate on the top plate. I'm actually putting some up pressure on the top plate. And then I'm gonna, once I start to get close, then I'm just gonna make some swipes and follow the line. That's it, that tooth's fixed. So now I'll show you that tooth. It's this one right here. Yeah, this one right here, right here. That tooth's fixed. Okay, now I'm just going to go around and I'm going to wipe the whole side really quick. Keep you right here. You can see a good view of how I do it anyway. Now that tooth is shorter, and that raker, actually, you know what I can do right now? See if I can do it with this. This raker is going to have to come down. If I could take a little bit off the top of it, just right now. I'm just trying, got my thumb here so I don't hit the tooth face. Just so that tooth will still hit till I can put a raker gauge on it and fix it. It's hard to do with a round file, but I can do it. Just get a little bit out of that raker just so it will hit when I get to it. So now we'll just go through the whole side. Now that old saying that, well, you shouldn't pull any up pressure on it. I agree with that in a damaged chain where you have to repair it and you got to get the gullet out. But if you're just doing a brand new chain like this, you want to be filing across the cutting edge. So you can put some up pressure on it. It's just going to make it go faster and make you take less off. I'm more efficient from this side, which means I have to almost take less strokes because I take way more off per swipe on this side, doing it from this way because I'm pushing back into the saw so much. And what I'm doing is I'm cleaning up every cutting edge so that it matches the line and so that it's sharpened all the way across. And if you get yourself in a good position, actually, I'm all the way through. That's it. I'm done. All right. Let me take you out, show you the teeth really quick, and then we'll find a log to saw. Danny, come! Oh, all right, bud. I see you. Sorry, I didn't know where you were. There's Danny. He's hanging out. He's being a very good boy. So, let's get down like this. You can see these teeth are completely filed. They're wicked sharp. Let's take a look at the hook angle. Hook angle's maintained. It looks really good. These are beautiful. I can feel a burr on them. So, I'm going to pause you real quick, fire up the saw. Actually, where can I cut? Something that's going to be notable. I got to put Danny in the truck because he's not going to like this. We'll cut through this end of this white pine right here. We'll cut through that. That's a real knobby thing. I'm going to pause you for a second till I get the saw warmed up and ready to go. Pause. All right, we got the saw running. We'll go ahead and we'll just buck some of this off just so you can see how sharp it is. hopefully you can see the chips that it's taken. You know, I know this is just pine, but obviously it's sharp. Obviously it cuts good. The center of that log's solid, right through 2 knots. No worries. So yeah, that's how to repair a busted, damaged chain that hit my bobcat carriage. I'll show you where. Hit it right here, right above my finger. That's where it hit the bobcat carriage. This chain hit this metal right here, and that's what it's doing now. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I got to get to cleaning up out here, and I always appreciate the watch. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Appreciate all you guys, and this is Pirate Solutions out.